Hey guys, my name is Yousif and thank you for tuning in. I recently got into Hotshot, so I figured I introduce myself and tell you how I got into Hotshot, then tell you guys about the process. So yeah, I used to be in a hotel industry for 7 years. I managed a Motel 6 for 7 years. I like the job, honestly. Nothing there. I like the family that I was working with a lot, but after a while being in the same building over and over and over and over, it got tiring for me. I could not handle it anymore. So I figured maybe I want to take a little break from that and go travel for a little bit. So that's what I did. I put in my 3-week notice or 2-week notice and went and traveled for 3 months. I went to Peru, I went to Thailand, and I went to Turkey. And I couldn't do that for any longer because the money was tight. So I had to come back to reality. And when I came back, I was debating whether I should go back to this same job or get another job at a different hotel or something like that. But part of me did not want to, because that was I couldn't feel the ultimate freedom in that kind of a job, because you're almost there. Everything that happens at the hotel, you are responsible of it, whether it's maintenance or guest services or anything like that. Then you are responsible of it. So I was just standing by, and a friend of mine said, "Oh, you know what? Why don't you try getting your CDL and start driving trucks?" And at first, I was a bit scared, because I really don't want to drive a semi truck, and certainly did not want to back up a semi truck, So, but then I want to give it another chance and call around and see what how could I get it and whatnot. So I found this school in my area that was offering a CDL course for and you could basically get your CDL in 4 weeks. So I called them up and said, "Hey, I'd like to get my CDL. What do I do?" And he said, "Well, there are 2 ways you could do it. First, the easiest way is to sign up with them for 4 weeks and do your permit and your actual CDL and get it that way. Or you could get your permit on your own. That way you only spend 3 weeks in school." So I figured, why not? Let's get the permit on my own, and then once I get it, I will go to school and do the 3 weeks there. So that's what I did. I downloaded a couple of apps. I studied them for like a day and a half and went to DMV and took the test. Sure enough, I passed it. 80% of it was common sense, but 20% of it was very new to me, because I've never driven a trailer before, other than one U-Haul trailer that was 8 feet long. So, but all in all, it was a fairly easy test to pass. And then I called them back up and said, "Hey, I just got my permit. Can I sign up with your school to get the actual CDL?" And they said, "Yeah." They told me what time they had it available, and so I started. And in 3 weeks, I got my CDL. After that, I thought, I was not even thinking about a Hotshot or anything like that. I wanted to work for another for any trucking company that could hire me. But at that time, the only options that I had, it was Swift, Night Transportation, CR England, and those big companies, And I did not want to get stuck again at one of those big companies. So I'm like, no, there's no way I will do that. And plus, I was really not comfortable of driving a semi truck, to be honest with you. So I applied to a Hotshot company that had an ad on Craigslist. And after a day, the owner called me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in this job?" I said, "Sure enough, I will." And so we talked, and I filled up an application and all that stuff. They did the background check, drug test, and everything else. So after all that was completed, the owner called me back and said, "Hey, you're good to go. When can you start?" I told him I can start anytime. So he got my ticket for Monday, and a plane ticket for Monday because he was in Kansas City. It was a 13-hour drive from me, so he got my plane ticket to Kansas City, and I flew out there. And sure enough, the next day I was in a Hotshot rig. I drove for him for 3 months, and then this opportunity came where in my area where I could drive a semi truck daily and be home every night. So I figured I want to take that because it paid good. It paid $220 every day, and you're home every day. So so I come home, I put my 2-week notice, and I quit from that job on good terms, and I come home. As I am coming home, I called the recruiter to see if I'm good to go. When I call them, they say, because of coronavirus, we just put everything on hold. So that was a bummer. I did not like it for sure, but at the same time I had this Hotshot business in mind, so I did all my research beforehand in case something goes wrong. I have a backup plan. So once I found out that job was off the table, I went and filed for my authority. Filed my authority, paid my $300, and did my BOC and whatnot. Whatever is required to get your authority, I did that and waited about 3 weeks. Got my MC license, and after that, I bought this truck and that trailer. So I was first thinking to do the enterprise rental program because it was fairly easy to get in. Well, if they had the truck available. But when I called them like 3 times in 1 week, and all 3 times they said they don't have anything available. So I did not want to wait any longer. So I went to the local Ford dealership and asked if they had anything available, and they told me that they have this bad boy available, and this is an F350 2020 dually. It's a CTX model, so it's a bit fancy, but not too fancy. So I asked them what the price was. They said the price is $63,000. I think I have it here. 1 second. 63,000 and some change, I think. Yeah, 63,300. Right here. I hope you can see it. 63,300. So I ended up talking them down to 60,300. And I asked, the salesman asked me, how much do you want to put down? I told them the least, what is the minimum that I could put down, honestly. I didn't want to put more on toward the down payment because I wanted to keep everything I had in case something happens in the future. So he goes and asks the manager and comes back and says, hey, you have a good credit, you can put just $3,000 back and you can have the truck. I said, well, that works, sign me up. So I got the truck for roughly 60,000 brand new 2020. And then I went and bought me a 40-foot 25 GN Big Tex trailer. I got that for this right here. It's a 25 GN. I bought it for $12,000 plus tax, so it was $12,700 altogether. I have a load on it currently going to Minnesota. Yeah, it was $12,700 out the door. So pretty much that got me started. So July 6th, 2020 was my first day. I got me a good load out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, and from there I haven't even had a day off since then. It has been a good time. So yeah, that's pretty much my journey. It came from a motel position, a general manager position at a motel, and here I am driving a Hotshot rig. So I would love to hear what you guys think about my setup. Oh yeah, let me show you where let me show you my bed. I actually made a bed over here. It's right here, just like that. This is where I sleep. It's basically on a 2x4 frame, and I have a plywood on top of that. I bought these small storage thingies from Dollar General. I just put all my clothes and whatnot in it, so they are nice and organized. But all in all, I'm happy. I'm happy. Let's put it that way. I do not have any complaints so far. It has been a while, so but I will be doing lots of videos and sharing you with you guys. But I would appreciate it if you guys have any helpful tips. I will appreciate to receive it. Put your comment down below. If I'm doing something wrong, please let me know, because I am new in this job, and I would like to get feedback. So please let me know. Until later, peace.